Hello everyone, my name is Keshav. Welcome to the RPA practical series. In this video, we are going to perform another practical based on UiPath Studio. Okay, so see, this is our practical 2B. Create an automation UiPath project using different types of variable, number, datetime, boolean, generic value, array, data table, etc. Okay, this will see, we are going to create all these variables and we will assign them the values, and after that we will print those values, okay, through the message box. So it is written simply here in aim, create different type of variable and provide default value and show in message box. So without wasting time, let us move towards the practical. So I'll open my UiPath Studio, click on process, click on give it a name, practical 2B. See, we got the workflow here, same main sequences added here. Okay, so how many variables we have to create? We have to create number for variable for number, variable for date time, boolean, generic, array, data table. Okay, see, this practical is one of the important practical, so watch this video carefully and follow all the steps whatever I am doing. See, I have seen many students like those who are preparing the journal. See, in general some steps are skipped there. Okay, you can understand, like if you are performing the practical by referring the journal, then you must be getting the error. Okay, you might be getting the error. So I would like to say that there are some steps which are skipped inside your journal. Okay, RPA practical journal. So see, do one thing, just follow my steps whatever I'm doing here. Okay, now see, we have to create different variables. So first of all, what we are doing, we are just clicking on variables, create variable. We will create p int. Okay, this is for int, so here in variable type I will click on int32. Okay, and we will give the default value here like 65. That's it. Now another variable we are going to create is boolean value, so I will write b boolean, and variable data type I will mention as boolean. Okay, and give any default value like true. Now create variable for array, write v array, click variable data type here. Now array of t, click on array of t, you can see this option here, array of t. Now see, now whatever value, if you want to store the numbers inside your array, so keep it as it is in 32, and if you want to store the string value, so click on string. So in my case I'm going to store string value. Okay, we'll click on OK, and here in curly bracket give the default values like in double quotes a comma in double quotes b comma c comma d, sorry, d. So these are the default values I have given. Now another variable we will create for generic values. Generic values. For this, click here for this data type. See, you won't get here, you won't get any option here for generic values. So just click on browse for types and write here generic values. Just write generic values. Okay, see, you can see this option in UiPath.core. The first option is generic value. Just double click on it. Okay, click here. Now see, generic value is like generic value, this variable type is added here. Okay, and for default value just give it like I am writing hi, this is Keshav. Okay, I have written. Now another variable we are going to create for date and time, so write it as date time. Okay, now again here in variable type, click here, browse for types and write here system dot date. See, when you will write system dot date, you will get this option here, date time. Just double click on it. See, the data type is being added here. Okay, now we have to give the default value for this also, date time. So click here and give some default value like I am giving it. First of all, I am giving the date 10/04/2021. Okay, this is the date, and for time give just space and write like 07 colon 00 colon 00. Okay, that's it. See, we have given the default values here. Now one more variable we have to create, and that is for data table, receiving the values from data table. So we will name it as data, and in variable type, click on system.data.datatable this value. Okay, and that's it. We are done with creating the variables here. Now go inside the main sequence. Okay, now see, we have created all the variables which is required. Okay, these all variables we are going to use it here. Now say go inside your main sequence, and what we have to do, we just have to print all. See, once again, a different type of variable and provide default values and show in message box. Okay, now we have to print all this value through the message box. So what I will do, first of all, see, for data table, I will take one data table here, write build data table. Okay, go inside this data table, see, click here. Now first of all, delete all these values. Okay, now click here and write here value, 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 keep it as string. Okay, I'm going to print the string values only, that is why. Press on OK. Now see, in this first column, just write, I'll write my name Keshav, second I will write as Abhishek, third I will write as Vignesh, fourth I will write as Vivek. Okay, that's it. Click on OK here. Now see, the next step is, see, when you click on this build data table, you will get one option here, properties. Click on properties. Say output is written, output of data table, where the value of this data table is going to store. So in this case, we have to click on this plus symbol, click on use variables, sorry, plus symbol, click on use variable. So I'm not getting the option here. Okay, wait, properties, use variable, click on variables. Now see data, this is the same variable we have created, few minutes ago here. Say data for data table. So whatever the data will come from this data table is going to store inside this variable data. Okay, so by clicking here, going inside the properties and mentioning using this variable here, by use variable, variables and data. Now all the values will be stored inside this data variable. Okay, that's it. Now printing the value from this data table, we have to take message box. So I will write, okay, sorry, no, don't take the message box now. See, inside our data table we have multiple values, Keshav, Abhishek, Jignesh, Vivek. These all values are going to be printed one by one, so we will need a for each loop. Okay, now see one more thing, now this is the data table, so we will receive data from data table, so we will take for each row in data. See, here we have two options, for each row in data table and for each. So we have to select this, just because we are getting the data from data table, that is why we are choosing this one. I will click on this for each row in data table. Okay, now see, just okay, cancel here, cancel this. Okay, now see, we have already created the variable here called data, so we will write it here, variable data. Click here. Okay, now see, so whatever value we are getting from this data table are going to store inside this variable data. Okay, and from this data all the values are assigned to this current row variable. So while printing the value, we will use this current row variable. See, you can change this variable. For example, I can give my name, okay, whatever you want. But see, all the values which are going to assign in this data variable, this all values will be assigned in this variable now, Keshav. Okay, now see, inside this body activity, click and add message box. Okay, done. Now we have to print the value now. So printing the value of build data tables, what we will write, we will just write, see, just first mention this variable name Keshav here, Keshav. Now in bracket, just give double quotes and just say, check once in data table what you have written, value, you have written the value. So just same you have to write here, value. Okay, written. Now just dot to string, convert it into the string. See, now we are done with this. One more thing, This is the first thing only we are doing in this practical, because see, now we have to make message box for this all values: int, boolean, array, generic values, datetime, data. But I'm showing you this for the data just because it is like it has some complex things like receiving the data from data table. That is why I shown this to you first. Okay, now I'll run this program. See, now it is printing my value one by one: Keshav, Abhishek, Vignesh, and Vivek. Okay, one more thing, we are not completed with our practical. I just shown you the most complex part of this practical, like receiving data from data table, because in journal the some steps are skipped there. That is why I just shown you first here. Okay, now we will move towards the further steps. So what we have to do, we have to print values for int, boolean, array, generic values, datetime. So it won't take that much of time. So let us just do one by one. So click here, not inside this for each, inside this main sequence. Click here, add message box. Right here, message box. So you can choose it from here also if you want, or just click on activities, message box. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Now see, text must be quoted. What for int, what variable we have created? Click here. For int we have created vint. So I will write integer value is plus v in dot to string. Okay, that's it. This is for integer, printing integer value. Second one is boolean. So I will write in double quotes, boolean value is, I will write v boolean dot to string. Okay, that's it for boolean value. Next, for array. Okay, let us take the array value at last. Move towards the next, generic values. I will write generic value like generic values dot to string. Okay, now for date and time also, date time what variable you have created? Date time dot to string. Okay, so we are done. Now at last we have to print array. See, for array, inside array we have a, b, c, d. We have 4 different values. Okay, so if we don't have to type it manually, then we will have to use for each loop just for printing all these value, because at a time one values can be printed. So see, inside what is array? Inside array we store the set of values. So here we have 4 values inside our array, so we have to print all this value. So for this we will use for loop. Okay, so see here, before this message box, okay, just click here and add for each. Okay, see, I will show you from here. Click here, go in activity section and add for each. Now see, sorry, for each you can see here, for each see here in this section we can see, sorry for disturbance, for each. Okay, I'm not getting the option for each. See here we have 2 options. One is for each row in data table and another one is for each. See, as I told you, for each row in data table, this we will use for receiving the values from data table, and this we will use for just printing the arrays values. So I will use this one, for each. Click on for each. Okay, that's it. Now you have to enter the list of items. So see, v array. Okay, we have array here, so I will let us of this array value. Click on array, v array. Okay, this value is going to store click your message box. Okay, now write here same as current item dot string. I think it's done. Now we will run on. Okay, just delete this message box. Okay, now see, now we are done with the practical one. We will run this practical first. See, we have done for all this practical. First for data table, second for integer value, third for boolean value, generic value, date time, and the last one for array. Okay, click on debug file. Okay, so first we are printing from data table. Once we are done with this, see, now I'm getting the integer value, then boolean value, then generic value, date time, and at last, see, I'm printing my array A, B, C, D. Okay, we are done with this practical now. One more thing, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so I think this video just became lengthy. So because I had to cover some topics, that is why I made this video so lengthy. Okay, that's it.